Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the New England Patriots. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey is one of the best centers in the league. And to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. Agile, able to get to the second level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carriers, and pass protects really well, helps keep his quarterbacks clean.
On second down, this is Jackson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They run on first down with Jackson. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Defensively, here are the starters for New England. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
I lost count of the number of turnovers that were occurring in that game, right? I mean, I had a clicker going after a while. 5, 6, 7, 8. It was unbelievable. There haven't been that many turnovers or takeaways, however you want to say, in the game since the Reagan administration. This is absolutely unreal.
I was in diapers. Here's a 2nd and 7. He completes it to Henry. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Off the play fake. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fix what was wrong with them in the last game.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Pats will take over at their own 20.
Ready, break. 49 to Mike. 49 to Mike. Christian, travel. Check, hit it.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Kareem Hunt is running back, the intended receiver. But it'll be second down. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front. As we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Ready.
Stidham again here on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
He's airing it out for Williams, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He'll get this to his running back. It's Justin Jackson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Kill, turn up. Kill, turn up. Hey, go.
On the carry, it's Jackson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Looking to throw. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dietrich Wise Jr. in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to fourth down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here in Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a New England first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now this throw caught left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I didn't get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Stidham. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 22 yards there, a first down. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. O.J. Howard, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. 2nd and long. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. Going up top. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. It's fielded at the 45. Kareem Hunt set, and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
They're running it.
Off the play fake. Here's Stidham. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10.
49's the mic. Watch 49. Ready?
On 3rd down, Stidham. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Joey Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. 1st down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down, it's Jackson. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Stidham. And break, the tight end's got it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
D-line, get that quarterback. Jim. Check 3. Let's go.
3rd and 2, now Stidham. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes.
Here we go. Tight off.
On second down now, it's Jackson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Back to throw. Love. They'll set up the screen here to Justin Jackson. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller. Since the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense, and it worked very well there for a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
51 to Mike.
Looking to throw. Love. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Operating from the gun, Love. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Patriots take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. Now Stidham on 2nd down. And he finds Howard complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, Haywood!
2nd and 10 now, Stidham. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Problems on 3rd down so far in this 1st half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. On 1st down, Love. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back. He's got him complete. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Love. This one caught by Davis. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. And he's got this down to the 35.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the 1st half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Patriots to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Hunt. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, box drop. 49.
Stidham now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. This quarterback now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. You must be dreaming. Smooth.
Second down, Stidham to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught at the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins, we talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Jackson, and an alley to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 29 yards. First down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
On second down, it's Moss. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it, stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. This quarterback now 9 of 17 through the air.
Kill. Pilot, 64, weak. Go.
On first down, Stidham. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On second down now, it's Hunt.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Stidham, 3rd down from the gun. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
So out come the Chargers. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jackson. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run again with Jackson. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Love. And the ball comes out. Love lost it. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Oh, good move. Well, they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Stidham. Underneath, he's got Brait. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Stidham to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
It's a party now. It's a party now. Check 52. Check it.
3rd and long. It's Stidham. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Let's go.
4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You can have the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
He's got it to Williams. Give him 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few? He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Hunter Henry, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Score. Watch safety creep. Hey, exit. Safety's creeping. Fire.
Stidham again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Yeah. You don't want none. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Hey, lock it. Check 6 guys. 25. Check 25. Kill. Rock it. Hey, turn it out. Yep.
And the blitz does come. That's caught by Howard. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. An excellent gain, 35 yards. So they did not bring pressure, and turns out probably a bad idea.
Yeah, he had time to stand in the pocket and deliver a strike. So I'm wondering if they're going to note that, and next time just go ahead and bring that pressure.
Switch. Bang. Go.
They'll throw on 1st down with Stidham. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Hightower. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the run, this is Hunt. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Got what he needed for the 1st down with a gain of 2.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high, the tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Well, they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening.
Oh, no, he lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. He's got daylight. He's at the 40. The 30. They were direct with us. They said last week his 3 fumbles. We want that to be an aberration. Another one right there, though.
And it's going to drive them crazy because we saw them coaching.
After reviewing the play,
they come out here in the eye. A line of scrimmage once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Ready? 49's the mic. 49's the mic. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Hey, stand up. Check down, set. Get it.
On 2nd down. It's Hunt, and he is in. Touchdown, New England. Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Operating from the gun. Love. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Love. He'll get this to his running back. It's Justin Jackson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the gun, Love. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Third and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, third and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They'll run again with Hunt. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Hunt. He's got a first down or more inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On second down now, it's Hunt at a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for New England, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.